The probability that you are perceiving the truth of your reality is zero. Really just let that sink in for a second. Because if you can't even see the truth of your reality, your environment, the people around you, do you really think that you are seeing the truth about yourself, your capabilities, your beliefs, what other people believe about you? In this video, we are going to dismantle your 3D piece by piece, leaving no stone unturned, so you can actually create the reality of your dreams. So I'm currently at the 10-day Joe Dispenza retreat here in Cancun, and he is so exceptional, but even more so in person. I've read his books, I've done his meditations, and now being here is such a privilege and feels like a miracle, honestly. But you may watch my videos and believe what I say, kind of, sort of, and think, that's easy for her, right? Joe Dispenza leaves you with not a single doubt that you are the creator of your reality, that there is nothing outside of you, no job, no person, no circumstance, no childhood, that is creating your reality. It leaves you with no doubt in your mind and really no other option to take full responsibility and full control of your reality and start controlling your energy, start controlling your intentions, and it's all backed by science. He is the master, in my opinion, and I'm going to decode some of the things that I have been writing down. I'll do a full video, but these are some of the things that I want to discuss, first of all. And we're going to get a bit scientific, so I need your full attention. Do you want to change or do you not? Grab a notepad, grab a pen. So what I want to discuss today is how to break the illusion of your 3D. And essentially what this means is breaking the illusion of the separation from the things that you want, because every single thing is energy. The chair that you're currently sat on is energy. It may look like it's solid wood or whichever material, but if you zoom in close enough, it's vibrating at a certain frequency. And that's called matter. Whatever you can see, whatever you can touch is matter. But matter vibrates at the slowest possible frequency. And so the Newtonian way of change is matter changing matter. For example, if you want more money, you work your way up in a corporate job and you wait 10 years to get promoted, and then that's a Newtonian way of creation. And so that's a very low vibration. It's vibrating at a very low frequency. However, when you begin to elevate your emotions, which being here, the energy in the room is palpable. The change is visceral, but it's also visible, it's audible, you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it. People are shaking, people are screaming when they move and transmute that energy. It's completely undisputable now. And so when you elevate that frequency, it actually increases the speed of the frequency. So when you create from the quantum field, that means that everything exists all at once. You don't have to wait 10 years to get a promotion. It already exists on a timeline within the quantum field. And so most people are creating from the 3D. They're creating matter versus matter. They're changing matter with matter. But what ends up happening is your senses are lying to you, which is why I said from Joe Dispenza, the probability that you're perceiving the truth of your reality is zero, because you cannot possibly see, sense, feel all of the possibilities that are readily available to you now. So if that is the case, why would you want to continue creating and struggling and striving to get what you want from this limited perspective when there's this whole, in fact, perfect example? I was trying to get the video to show the background, but the lighting is, of course, we're in Mexico, so it's all beautiful, but you can't get amazing lighting like this, right? So right now you're seeing this kind of ugly background, I'm not gonna lie. However, if we just move it up just a smidge, which is the background that I wanted in this video, you can see all of the other possibilities that are readily available right now. However, I just didn't have the right lighting. I didn't have the right setup to be able to share that with you guys, right? This is the perfect example of when we are creating from such a limited perspective, from such a small expectation of the world, right? When there are all of these other possibilities. So Dr. Joe really speaks about becoming nobody, no thing, nowhere. This involves removing your identity completely so that you can enter the quantum field as nobody, nowhere, no time, etc. And a good example of this was I was here at the retreat, and you sit next to different people every day. You know, there's thousands of people here. It's amazing. And one of the ladies was telling me, and straight off the bat, I'm here to heal. I'm blind in one eye. And I would just remember thinking how attached to her identity she was. She didn't even introduce herself. I don't even know her name. But she was so attached to that identity, that defect, that was how she introduced herself. That is how she identifies herself. And so when she enters that quantum field, that identity has to go. I didn't introduce myself as, hi, I'm blind in an eye, right? I have the identity of someone that has both working eyes. And so she has to attach her identity to something like that. Belief is like pregnancy. You either are or you aren't. You're either rich or you're not. You're either healthy or you're not. You cannot choose both. Meditate for an hour. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. The rest of the day, I'm poor. Where's this money coming from? How's this business going to get off the ground? How am I going to do this, this, and this? You can't be two places at once. You either are or you aren't, right? And so that really helped me when I saw that, to really try and shift my identity and my attachments and addictions to who I am. And so how do you do that? So essentially what we're doing is we are moving through brainwaves in order to reach that kind of middle ground between asleep and awake. And this is called theta. So for example, when you are meditating, let's say you've meditated and all you can think about is, I need to do the dishes, I need to take the kids to school, I need to pay the mortgage, whatever it is, right? You're in high beta. You're not even meditating. So you think you've just spent the past 15 minutes meditating and doing the inner work. You haven't done anything. You're thinking about your to-do list, right? And so in order to come down from the high beta to beta, continuing flowing all the way down to theta, where your brain is the most susceptible to change, you really have to incorporate breath work. And the thing about these meditations, guys, when I tell you, I've done Joe Dispenza meditations before. I have a video on, how I was able to change, and I was doing his meditations every day like my life depended on it. And I haven't really done them since, because I've created my own. And when I did it the first day, I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been missing. I didn't need therapy. I needed Joe Dispenza. An hour of Joe Dispenza was like the past 2 months of therapy that I've been doing. Like, it doesn't even compare, right? So when you do these meditations, there's people, thousands of people shaking. There's people screaming from that explosion of energy, lying dormant in our lower chakras, in the survival chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus. And when you squeeze all of that energy up, which if you go and listen to Joe Dispenza or do any of his meditations, he will explain far better than I can, and you ascend it and transmute it up into these higher energies, into these higher chakras, you have an explosion, a literal explosion of energy. And when you're able to do that and you reach that theta, there you're able to create from that unlimited place. And so if you really don't like where you are, your job, your location, your bank account, your relationships, that is all the known. You know what to do when you wake up. You know your routine. You know your name, your job, your height, your identity, your gender, your skin color. You know that is the known. But when you are creating something brand new, because you've maybe never experienced it, or it's a new level, you have to create the unknown. And so in order to do that, you cannot bring all of that baggage of, I'm Fred and I'm 50 and I have 2 kids and I'm whatever, divorced, right? You can't bring that in there. And it's so interesting doing this work every day. I mean, we're meditating for like 5 hours a day. We did a pineal gland meditation the other day from like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. That was just one of the meditations for the day. And your body is convulsing, it's exploding, it's another world. And I'm 100% going back to the Joe Dispenza meditations when I get back home. Because I remember how they changed my life, and then my life changed. I was like, I don't need to do this anymore. Yes, you do. When you ascend to love, when you ascend to those higher vibrations through reaching theta or even alpha, you're able to create at a much faster speed because you're enveloped by love, you're enveloped by joy, you're enveloped by all of these higher vibrations. We do these walking meditations on the beach, and he guides you to get into theta while you're stood up, while you're awake. Why do you think he does that? Because we go so unconscious throughout the day. We've done our hour meditation, and then we're awake for the 16 hours, and we're so unconscious. We're back to complaining and bitching and whinging and why is this not working and why does this not happen and where is this and all of this stuff. We're back to that same old program, to that addiction of those emotions. And so he developed these walking meditations to stay in the unknown, to stay in those higher frequencies even while you're awake. So you have no excuse. You're just pure joy, pure love. And I think a lot of people, when they hear love or self-love, they think, woo-woo gaga, but it is literally the foundation of everything. Every single meditation we're doing is to feel that state of love. And love is the highest and fastest frequency. When you are enveloped by that love, you can actually begin to attract more of that love, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's with your family, whether it's with money. Like, you're just so abundant. There's just so many different opportunities available to you because you're open and receptive to it. Now, what I will say is I'm still a believer of the law of assumption, okay? So whatever you believe is true for you. If you believe that this just works out and that you are love and that everything works out for you, that's also true for you. And doing these meditations, doing these walking meditations may not be necessary. And I do believe that all of this stuff, because they're an hour-long meditation, sometimes they're even longer, right? And I do believe that you can get to that state much quicker than an hour, doing these every day through the law of assumption. And so everything we talk about on this channel, the rampages, the mirror work, the self-love affirmations, being enveloped by love, doing inner child work can also get you there. But let me tell you, by doing all of that work, I have never had the shakes like I have with the Joe Dispenza meditations, or that euphoria, that explosion from your lower centers as it transmutes up to your higher centers. I've never had that. And that feeling is so top tier. It's inspirational, and it makes you want to do the work. You want to wake up at 4 a.m. and do the work. If you are so distracted in your mind, which when I've come here, I've realized how distracted I truly have been, focus on your heart center, focus on your pineal gland, focus on your lower energies, and learn how to do the breath, how that Joe Dispenza speaks about. Learn how to transmute that energy, those explosions in your mind, in your body, in your heart. It's like, honestly, it's like taking mushrooms. The room on one of the days after the meditations erupted in laughter, which is what you get when you take mushrooms. So our brain, and it was scientifically proven again by Joe Dispenza, our brain truly believes we are on psilocybin when we do this work. And so you have no excuse to continue staying stuck in your environment, staying stuck in your 3D, being a victim to these emotions, to these circumstances. There's no excuse. We have the proof. Well, Dr. Joe does. And testimonials that will blow your mind. So I trust this video helped you manifest. You are worthy. You are loved. I love you and thank you.